What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shonen Showdown. I'm your host, Rob, and sitting to the right of me is
Chris Derard. How y'all doing?
And we just wrapped up another debate. And while we were wrapping it up, we were having an argument while closing that last segment. And it was basically a power discussion between Big Mom and Blackbeard. So stick around. All right, Chris. So we were just having that big argument about Blackbeard versus Big Mom. Right. Which one is more powerful? Which one is stronger? And I want you to clear up for me who you think is stronger.
Listen, so on my side, I'm defending Big Mom. Okay, she is the proud owner of the soul fruit. Okay, She has conqueror's haki. Okay, and we know this because it's been shown. Okay. Plus her devil fruit, which she doesn't even be using like that. She doesn't even use it like that, okay? Right now, she has been a Yonko, okay, for years with Whitebeard was around, Kaido, and Shanks. And she is still, right now, Yonko. She didn't just enter, okay, like the person you're going to be arguing for. All right, yeah. She didn't just get new powers. She been doing this. People fear her. People don't play with her territory, okay? Big Mom is the person, all right, that I'm vouching for. Come on, she ain't got time for him.
All right, so you guys just heard him waste his time. Now let me tell you guys what's really going on. As much as I respect Big Mom, as much as I like Big Mom, right? We saw how Kaido was talking to Big Mom. He clearly lacks respect for Big Mom on a level that is so disrespectful that he told her that once you step foot into Wano and I catch you, you are dying. And we also know Kaido has been called the strongest creature in the world, and he has never been defeated 1v1. So we know once Big Mom pulls up to Kaido, Kaido is probably taking that W. Do I think he would treat Blackbeard with that same disrespect? No, and here's why.
Really?
Here's why. Blackbeard stole Whitebeard's devil fruit. At the same time, he also holds the Yomi no Mi, which has the ability to basically act as a version of armament haki, a version where you can literally negate the devil fruit powers of your opponents. That is a huge key factor in any type of matchup that Blackbeard is going to be in. We also have to talk about how Blackbeard was able to take down Ace, right? We also have to talk about how Blackbeard actually went into Impel Down level 6, freed so many people, basically creating one of the most quick turnarounds of a Yonko ever. We have never seen somebody rise up to the status of a Yonko as fast as Blackbeard has done. So when we see that type of ability from Blackbeard, I just think that even though I respect Big Mom, Blackbeard is just on another level. He's on another level now that he has Whitebeard's devil fruit. Beforehand, no shot. Once he has Beardy's devil fruit, I gotta give.
Answer me a question, please.
Yes, I will. Let's go.
So what happened with the whole scenario when he wasn't trying to face Shanks at Marineford? He had the devil fruit,
right?
So then what happened?
What do you mean what happened? He came there. He came there, handled his business. Hold on, he came there, handled his business, and then he left. Because you have to remember, Sengoku was on the left-hand side too. So if you're talking about Sengoku being there, and Shanks being there, Blackbeard's being there, right? And at the time, could we even say that Blackbeard was considered a Yonko? No, he wasn't. It wasn't until after that war, once Whitebeard passed away, that he was able to secure that spot and grow. He knew that at that time, because you gotta remember, he's the one that gave Shanks his scar. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I saying that Shanks is a person that is weaker than Blackbeard by any means. But if you're able to land a hit on Shanks, I don't think Big Mom is touching Shanks. I don't. No chance whatsoever. And the only reason why I'm putting Blackbeard in this discussion is because we have to look at his abilities. It's not really his raw strength is nowhere near the level of Big Mom's. But when we're talking about his abilities, his abilities put him above Big Mom because you have Whitebeard on one hand, and then you have the Yomi no Mi on the other.
See, and this is where you're getting disrespectful. Right? Whitebeard. He acquired Whitebeard's devil fruit.
Right.
That don't mean he became Whitebeard.
No,
now.
I'm not.
Let's
I'm the biggest.
down.
Hold on. I'm the biggest Whitebeard fan.
Down.
I'm the biggest Whitebeard fan. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not saying that he is Whitebeard level.
Down.
I will never ever disrespect Whitebeard like that. But what I am trying to tell you, Chris, is that having Whitebeard's devil fruit on one hand is ridiculous.
Of course.
That is ridiculous.
Of course.
And you have your other devil fruit on the other hand, and it basically has hockey in it.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay?
Okay.
How is Big Mom dealing with that? How is Big Mom dealing with that?
See, now you're being very disrespectful. Listen, we know, number one, the reason why he landed a blow on Shanks is because they were together for a good majority of time. Let's be honest. Ace, Shanks, Blackbeard, they have a connection that Big Mom doesn't necessarily have.
Chris, I'm about to end your whole career with this one last point. Watch this. Blackbeard won the payback war. Do you think if Big Mom went into a war with Marco, Diamond Joe's, Flower Blade Visa, I'm being disrespectful. You think so? Really? Why? How? How am I being disrespectful?
Okay.
How am I being disrespectful? Wait, Luffy beat Katakuri, right? Luffy beat Katakuri, right?
Oh my goodness.
Can Marco beat Luffy, Chris?
Oh my goodness.
Please, can Marco beat Luffy? Just let me know. I need to know the answer because clearly you think something differently. Can Marco beat Luffy?
Oh my goodness. Are we talking about Luffy back during Marineford?
No, I'm talking about Luffy right now.
Luffy right now?
Yes, that beat Katakuri.
If the story was set up that way, of course Luffy would win.
Against Marco?
Yes, if the story was set up that way. But he had to go through Whole Cake Island. Come on.
Don't do this. Do not do this.
You know
Luffy is not beating Marco right now.
Stop.
No chance.
Stop.
Not right now. And
Stop.
I'm not saying...
Do we have a bounty for Marco?
I don't have the research of the bounty of Marco, but clearly Marco is top tier. He literally had a war
do you think his bounty was more than Katakuri?
A Yonko. He had a war against a Yonko. Against a Yonko.
Okay, was
Luffy had to, when Luffy got into Big Mom's territory, right? Did he not have to team up with other pirates just to make sure he leaves unscathed? He barely even got into a little skirmish with Big Mom, and basically they had to do everything they could. Got Germa 66. First of all, yeah, let's just talk about how many people were there. All right, you have Germa 66. Right. You have the Fire Tank Pirates, right, and you have the Straw Hats, and you have Jinbei, who even brings in his own reinforcements. Marco, on the other hand, only had him and the Whitebeard crew, or whoever was left of the Whitebeard Pirates. So when you have to look at it from that perspective, the fact that Marco even was able to challenge a Yonko in that position with no one really left, it just shows you that Marco at the... How am I proving 2 points?
Because to the lengths that Luffy had to even go into the territory and tiptoe across Big Mom, like tiptoe around her.
What I'm saying is I'm proving how great Marco is and how Marco is not strong. I mean, how Marco is actually stronger than Luffy, and how Luffy is not stronger than Marco. That's my main point here. And I'm not saying that Luffy is not elite. We know how elite he is. They're calling him the 5th Emperor right now in the newspapers for a reason, guys. I'm not going to say that. But in no way, shape, or form do I see Luffy beating Marco right now. I don't see it. I think Luffy has to get a little bit stronger, work on his haki a little bit more, and then, so now you're coming around. Now you're coming around. Thank you.
Because there's a distinction. There's a distinction, right? We're talking about Marco, right? And we're talking about Luffy, and you're comparing how Luffy beat Katakuri, right? And that's Big Mom's ace, right? And how Marco is Whitebeard's ace, right?
Now you're catching my drift.
And so I get that point. Marco is by far more powerful than Luffy.
Right. That's all I'm saying. So when we look at it from that way, we have to scale it now. So because listen, One Piece is all about reading in between the lines, all right? Oda's not going to give you direct fights 1v1 all the time. But what he's going to give you is he's going to give you little nuggets here and there where you can try to figure out who's better than who. And right now, off of abilities alone, I have to give the edge to Blackbeard over Big Mom, strictly over abilities. When we're talking about raw strength, it's clearly Big Mom, right? Big Mom has basically, like, her skin is almost impenetrable,
okay,
right?
So this is where the question comes in. Is Blackbeard's 2 devil fruits more powerful than Big Mom's 1 devil fruit and hockey ability, right?
Yes.
That essentially is the question.
Right.
Right?
We're assuming that Blackbeard has no hockey?
We're assuming he has no hockey.
Because it hasn't been shown?
Because it hasn't been shown.
Okay.
Listen, if he does... I feel like in order to be a Yonko, that's a prerequisite to have hockey. I have to give him. I think if you become a Yonko, you have to have hockey. There's no other way you can become a Yonko without having hockey. Now, we haven't seen the level of his hockey abilities, right.
So with that, I will say fine. But even if he didn't even have hockey, the Yomi no Mi has hockey abilities and where it can negate the devil fruit powers of your opponent. So he still kind of has a poor man's hockey in one of his devil fruits, and it has Beardy's devil fruit on the other hand.
And a poor man Beardy's devil fruit on the other hand. Let's just be clear about that. Blackbeard is not Whitebeard.
I know that.
I know that's not what you're arguing.
You know,
but we're gonna set that straight. Right. All right. But literally, this is a conversation of Blackbeard's 2 devil fruits as compared to Big Mom's 1 devil fruit and her hockey ability that has been displayed. Okay, like 1 screech will just send people unconscious. Okay, like it's nothing. Knock people out from miles away.
Right.
Okay, we saw a similar thing with Shanks just stepping on Whitebeard's ship, knocking people out just for walking. Right. That's the hockey we're talking about. Right. Okay. Definitely. So in comparing those, that's where we find our separation. Right. Of what we think. You think Blackbeard is more powerful with those 2 devil fruits, and I think Big Mom is more powerful with the devil fruit and the hockey combination. Right.
And that's because I respect Whitebeard's devil fruit that much. Because
I do too.
I respect his devil fruit. His devil fruit was able to rip down Marine Ford. They had to build a new one. So, with that being said, with me seeing that and the fact that Blackbeard has that ability now, as you said earlier, he hasn't exercised it to the way that Whitebeard has yet. But if he does,
that's a different discussion.
Right.
If he does, go ahead. Right.
Then, and for me to give him the Yonko ability, and for me to see that Marco got defeated in the Payback War, and there's nobody better than Marco that would understand Whitebeard's devil fruit that's alive, I think, at least. So the fact that Marco lost to Whitebeard's devil fruit, I think
Kaido.
Huh?
Maybe Kaido.
What about Kaido?
Would understand.
You think Kaido would understand?
Maybe.
I don't know.
You're saying there's nobody else that would understand it like Marco. I agree.
Yeah, Marco. Maybe
Kaido.
Maybe.
Outside of that.
Right.
But here's my thing with that also. It's like we know Blackbeard is and will be a central part in the story of One Piece. Right? He's been placed that way. All right. Even before he got both devil fruits, he's been placed when him and Luffy crossed towns.
Right.
When they crossed paths. Okay, from the beginning, we knew something was odd about them. When they were sitting in the bar, they was having a pie. One thought it was gross, one thought it tasted good, and then they had that interaction. So we knew Blackbeard is here to stay. He's an important part. So I do believe that further along in the story, no question, Blackbeard will be way more formidable than Big Mom. I do believe that because he is an integral part of the story more than I think Big Mom is. So it's an interesting thing to like pay attention to character development to see where people are going. My thing is just that we haven't seen Blackbeard. We heard about the Revenge War, the Payback War. We heard about it. We didn't see it. We know that he won, but we didn't see what exactly happened because Blackbeard has a squad. Let's not forget, like, he has a squad. So it's not just him single-handedly destroying the Whitebeard pirates and the rest of them because they are also formidable, right? You just said Jozu, right? You just mentioned them, right? Marco. So on both sides, they're not scrubs, okay? But I do know that Blackbeard, as the story develops, Blackbeard will be more formidable than Big Mom. I'm just not ready to give that up right now.
And I understand that. My only point in bringing up Marco was to prove that I think Marco going in Big Mom's territory, I think he would have done a lot more damage than him fighting against Blackbeard, which we all saw that he lost to Blackbeard. Just basically going off of the Luffy katakuri theory, which we were scaling earlier. That was my main point. But you guys let us know down in the comment section below. Who do you think is more powerful, Blackbeard or Big Mom? And with that, we're signing out.